Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to my first impressions of Bug Fables, the Everlasting Sapling. This is a Paper Mario-inspired, turn-based adventure game. I wouldn't even say it's an RPG. I mean, the original Paper Mario games weren't even really RPGs. They had some RPG elements, but they're very, very light, and this game is no different. In fact, most of the abilities that you get are done through the story, which we'll talk about in a second. But let's get into a little fight right here. So, once again, it is a turn-based game, and there is a active time battle system going on underneath all of it, which is quite fun. So basically, you set up an attack, and then you do this little button prompt, this little quick time event thing, and that allows you to do either, a neutral amount of damage, or a lot of damage, or if you screw it up, less damage. Like I did just there, that's supposed to do 2, but I screwed that up. You have 3 party members, and only 3, unfortunately, but they are all well written. They have a variety of attacks to choose from. This is, I'd say, about 3.5 hours into the story. I've been doing some grinding, some side quests here and there. I've also been trying to do the recording, which is, I've screwed up horribly. So, a lot of time is going to be on my playtime. It's going to show that. If I can not screw this up. Okay. Oh, I see. So there's status elements in this game, like typical RPGs. I was just put to sleep right there, which is a little annoying, but we'll get through it. There's also special moves at the top right there. That's the meter for my points that's shared amongst our party members here. And we can do abilities like Ice Fall, which is going to actually help us out a little bit here. Freezes enemies and does a ton of damage. There are weaknesses in this game, so some enemies just take more damage from ice or piercing attacks, whatever. Some enemies have like a base defense, so they'll take a little bit less damage. It makes for a very fun and engaging kind of game. You're never like waiting for the animation to start. You're never bored getting into a fight usually. You're just you're always doing something. And I like that about it. I like that about the original Paper Mario games, and this game does it well. It's also got some very charming dialogue, some very interesting characters, and some great world building going on for it. A lot more than the original Paper Mario games. It's kind of nice. Now, I mentioned Paper Mario a lot because this game does wear that inspiration on its sleeve, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're gonna copy a game, you might as well copy a good game. But yeah, it is very, very, very good. The combat is just what you'd expect. Now, there's only 3 party members, but they can learn a variety of moves. For example, throughout the story, you can actually just get more moves through progressing. So there's not a whole lot to do in terms of leveling up. When you level up, you can increase your health, your FP meter to do more special moves, or the medal system, which allows you to equip more of these medals to, add passives or bonuses or whatever. So as you level up, you can equip more medals if you choose that in the level up process. You can of course get also more health if you want, or increase your special meter gauge. Now, I gotta say, there's a lot more going on in terms of difficulty, in terms of variety in the combat than the previous Paper Mario games. I really wanted a star power kind of system, but then again, when I think about it, that system in the original Paper Mario Thousand Year Door was kind of broken and overpowered. So they kind of dialed it back a bit, made it a little bit easier to, get into the combat, and they just give you more abilities over the story progression. So there are some abilities you're just going to get later on, after you fight a boss that you might have been able to use an ability on a lot more effectively. So that's a little bit frustrating. But overall, what you've got is a very, very charming game. Very good dialogue. Now, there's also a cooking system in this game, as well as a bestiary. What that allows you to do is basically scan enemies and kind of build, like, this little book on everything. So, it tells you their stats, what they do, their defense, and how many you've defeated, how many you've seen. And you get little notes from your party members. Again, adding to that, classic Paper Mario charm. They did that in the original games. Then you have the rest of your combined ingredients to get things that, you know, give you different properties. So sometimes you can take like a leaf or whatever, or some item that didn't restore a whole lot of health, and cooking it will give you more, or maybe a status buff. And sometimes you want to make more space in your inventory. Like, let's say you have 2 good items, but what you'll do is you'll combine them together, and they'll, you know, with one item will restore health, one item will restore TP. Combine them together, one less item in your inventory, and they both do the same thing. Maybe they give you even a bonus. Dialogue is... all you really need to know is that the characters have their own personalities. Some even have their own backstory, and it seems like they're going to explore that a little bit later. At least I hope they do. I'm only about 4 hours technically into the story. I've been doing some other stuff too. But there's side quests you can also pick up from the from some of the towns. There's also a fast travel system to get around. So that's very convenient. Paper Mario kind of didn't have that. You can kind of get to worlds fairly quickly, but if there was something in that world where they were fairly big and it was hard to get around in there. They're a lot smaller here, the areas you go to. But as for the video options, by the way, there's a good selection of them, but this game does suffer right now from some technical issues. There's some bugs. The graphics aren't, you know, bad looking. The assets can be kind of low quality, but generally speaking, it's fine enough for what they're going for. The problem is that there's a lot of clipping going on, like a lot during animations. Resolution options, there's no 1440p settings. There's a very limited amount of resolution options. I'm assuming they're going to patch this after the game's been out. I don't know. Full screen on or off, anti-aliasing, shadow quality, okay. I mean, this is at max settings. The game doesn't look that great, you know, graphically. I mean, it's no big deal, though. It's from what they're going for here. Capped at 60 FPS. Controller is also a little bit of a pain. When you launch the game, if you hit your keyboard or mouse at all, what'll happen is the game will just kind of lock to the keyboard and mouse and won't let you use the controller. So if you're at a desk, that's a little frustrating. So you kind of gotta launch it, don't touch anything, and then, you know, hit a button on your controller to, like, kind of enable it that way. It's got Darksiders 2 syndrome. Oh, and you do have rebindable keys, but the defaults are a little bit annoying. Like C for confirm, jump, interact. It's a lot are, you know, the same key, which is a little bit frustrating. Separate volume sliders, though. That's always nice. But yeah, a little buggy. Not the best looker. I mean, I bet if you just did an HD, you know, a redo of Paper Mario, it would probably look a little bit better in this game. Yeah, some of the graphical effects and assets are just a low quality, like this thing right here. This little shine going on right here. But it's whatever. It's not a big deal. We're going to fight a boss right now, and then we're going to wrap up the video while we're doing that. Because I don't want to show you the end of the boss fight for potential spoilers. We did fight a mini-boss and one boss a while ago, so this game's got a good sense of pacing, good sense of variety, and the characterizations are nice. There's a lot of charm to it. There's environmental puzzle solving, the way you interact with environments and solve puzzles, like through the character's own abilities, like freezing ice blocks with the middle character right there, chopping through trees and, like, you know, hitting ice blocks around, hitting stuff with the boomerang, one ability I got, which lets you throw it and then, like, kind of lock it in place, like that. Very good for spinning wenches. Alright, I skipped the dialogue segment so you don't get spoiled on anything. It's worth listening to, actually. Anyway, let's initiate this fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to scan it, because I do like to have a nice compendium, and I like to see the boss's health to know how well I'm doing. 62 HP, Jesus. Okay, ooh. Okay, we're going to try a heavy strike. I don't think it has any defense, so we should just be able to go crazy. Gonna do Ice Fall. And it doesn't freeze, alright. Do some blocking here. Stop them from screwing me up. Okay, let's try Hurricane Toss. So this is, again, based off the ability I was just showing you. So we gotta do it with the D-pad. Wait. This is a rhythm you have to do. I did it once perfectly the very first time, and now I haven't been able to do it since. Music's also good. I'll let you have a listen to it. Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. Let's see if we can restore some TP. Okay, cool. Oh, he's changing. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Okay, yeah, you gotta get the timing down. I can still get the timing down perfectly in Paper Mario for 99% of the enemies. Not so much this game. Gotta relearn a lot of the... unlearn a lot of muscle memory and then relearn this. Okay, he's in the air. I can't do anything. But we are gonna use some roasted berries to get our health back. Glad I cooked this. We're gonna throw a seed at him, too. Try to see if we can knock him down. There we go. Nice. Oh, never mind. Never mind. What just happened there? Okay. Well, my guy's poisoned. Oh, from the health thing. I have a thing that poisons him if uses a healing item, but it is useful. Oh, I actually shouldn't have used the B for that, but it is useful for getting a defense up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass a turn over back to the B so I can follow up with more attacks. This is something that Paper Mario Thousand Year Door did not have, and it could be quite frustrating sometimes to not be able to do anything in a single turn, but by doing that, you can power up. Of course, again, there is diminishing returns to that. If you give them too many turns, they will just start to do less and less damage to a point where they're doing nothing. Oh my god. Oh my god! Okay, he's dead. And I don't think I have a revive seed, but I think... yeah, let's see if we can do pep talk. Something, man. Anything. Yeah, we at least need him for his turns. Actually, no. We're gonna use an item. We're gonna use another roasted berry. Heal up. This fight's actually kind of hard. I'm glad I'm not doing it on hard mode. And then we're gonna use the B to knock him, hopefully, out of the sky. Okay, item, use a hard seed. And then we're gonna pass again. It is a little bit frustrating that, you know, gotta get the B to use this thing to knock him down, and then, like, you can't do anything until then. But at least the turn relay is a nice response to that. Potentially, like, really messing that up. Should have actually not passed the turn. I should have just, like, let him go first and then use the ice guy. But it looks like he's not going in the sky anymore. I have to kill that flower, though, because that thing is going to heal him. Oh my god. We cannot let that happen. Alright. Now, I can't go past them, really, so... I can probably power up my blue guy right here. I'm probably going to do that, and we're just going to try to wipe this fucking thing. Do as much damage as possible. Now he's in the sky. Because that thing's gonna buff him up, that thing's gonna heal. We do not want that thing to live. Ah! I hit the wrong button. Yeah. But that's pretty much it for Bug Fables. This fight's actually gonna go along a little bit longer, and I don't want to make the video too long. It is a very, very fun game. It is a proper sequel, spiritual successor, whatever, to Paper Mario. And I am having a blast playing it. I've been waiting a very long time for something like this. A very, very long time, and this game absolutely delivers. It is fun, it is charming, it is interesting, and I'm going to die horribly. But, you know, it's fine. Yeah, no. We've lost this fight. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. I'm out.